Every Sunday that I was a parish priest, the first words of the homily were, "Welcome to everyone who's come to pray." But this is my first time, so you should be saying welcome to me. But anyway, so today I stand in St Mary's Cathedral and say to all present and all joining online, welcome to everyone who has joined us to pray. You have all come with your own intentions for which to pray, and in the gathering of God's people, your petitions gather allies, fellow prayers who bring your prayers to the altar to be offered with the body of the Lord himself. So when we gather, when we are present, our prayer is intensified by the people and by the sacrifice of the Mass. So as I begin my ministry as Archbishop of Hobart here in the Mother Church of this Archdiocese, among the faithful people of God gathered in the presence of the Eucharist, I want to invite visitors and encourage locals to very much feel at home in this sacred place. However, the Church gives us a gospel today that has chili and Tabasco and peppery flakes. It's hot and spicy, utterly uncompromising. Did you hear it when Deacon Michael read it? I have come to bring fire to the earth, and how I wish it were burning already. That's not the Jesus of holy cards or soft sentiment. This is the Jesus of the Gospels, urgent, prophetic, and passionate. This morning's Gospel is not a gentle invitation to consider religious faith as one option among many. It's a wake-up call. It's a rally cry. And it is a challenge to be fully alive, fully committed, and on fire with the love of God. So let's do a stock take. Many of us, if we're truthful, assume that we have time. We think, one day I'll get serious about my spiritual life. Once the kids are grown, once I've settled down, once I retire. Just not yet. Even St. Augustine many centuries ago prayed, "Lord, make me pure, but not yet." But today's gospel won't let us get away with delay. In recent weeks, we've heard Jesus warn, "This very night your soul will be required of you." These are not words of threat. They are words of truth, meant to stir us. Jesus was not asking for fans. He was calling for followers. Not admiration, but transformation. Not polite nods from the pews, but hearts set ablaze. You and I are not called to mediocrity. We are not baptized into blandness. We are summoned by Jesus to live passionately for the kingdom, fierce in love, relentless in mercy, and fearless in truth. Yet, yes, we live in uncertain times. Yes, the world can feel indifferent and even hostile to our faith. But so what? Jesus never promised ease. He promised the cross, and he promised the Spirit. He promised that those who follow him with undivided hearts will be the ones who change the world. Do you think I have come to bring peace, he asks. No, but rather division. That line is rather disturbing, don't you think? We say at Christmas, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. But the peace he brings is not appeasement or comfort. It's the peace that flows from truth and integrity. And truth by its nature divides. not because it is harsh, but it calls us to decide. The gospel doesn't give us the luxury of fence sitting, not in first century Galilee, nor in 21st century Tasmania. Jesus is calling. If you're going to follow me, do it with your whole heart. No half measures, no minimalist religion. Be all in. The letter to the Hebrews, our second reading of today, reminds us of the great cloud of witnesses, the saints and martyrs and ordinary believers who lived with burning hearts. And the writer urges us, let us not lose sight of Jesus who leads us in our faith and brings it to perfection. Remember the gospel story about Peter walking on the water. He stays up there, he stays afloat while his eyes are fixed on Jesus. But the moment he looks at the waves, he goes plonk. He begins to sink. That's all of us. When we focus on the storms, our failures, our fears, our limitations, we sink. But when we fix our gaze on the Lord Jesus, when we burn with his mission, we walk where we never thought possible. So here's my prayer as your new Archbishop. Let us be a church on fire, a church not afraid to proclaim the gospel in season and out of season, a church whose flame does not flicker dimly under a bushel, but burns brightly even amid the challenges and change. Let us be the church that Tasmania needs, not merely well-managed or socially useful, but spiritually alive. Let our parishes be places of deep encounter with Christ. Let our schools be centres of truth and wonder. Let our ministries burn with compassion for the poor, the broken and the forgotten. But above all, let each one of us, whether you be bishop or child, priest or parent, student or seeker, let each one of us dare to live with hearts ablaze, because Christ did not die and rise so that we could play it safe. He came to set the world on fire. So let the fire fall. Let it burn away our complacency, our hesitation, and our fears. Let it ignite our courage, our generosity, and hope. Jesus is calling, not someday, but today. The only question is, will we follow him? Will we be all in?